Hi guys, it's Miss King again. We did some geography and well, you should have done your geography work with Khan Academy yesterday with Mesoamerica. It kind of laid out how everyone um, kind of got to where they were going to get to through the Bering Strait. If you have not done the Khan Academy assignment, please do that today. Um, you need to watch the intro PowerPoint that I gave yesterday, or you need to, well, one, you have to go into Khan Academy. Just going into Khan Academy does not mean it is done. You have to actually do the lesson for it to say that you completed it. You do not get points unless you have completed the lesson. So please make sure that you go into Khan Academy, actually do the lesson, because it might say on Google Classroom you turned it in, but when I go into Khan Academy, there will not be a check mark next to your name. If you have not joined my class yet, you need to do that. So please click on the link that is in your email or that was emailed to you yesterday. So please do that so you can get that assignment done. Khan Academy is really great, but you have to actually do it or else it doesn't count. So today we're going to talk about the Maya culture, and there's some essential questions that go with it that you'll be answering in your Edulastic homework for tonight. So one, how did geographic factors, so land, oceans, water, all of that, mountains, how did that affect political, so that's government, social, society, and economic, money, aspects of life in the Mayan culture? And then why is the Mayan culture considered to be so advanced? So some vocab just as I go through that you might want to know. First off, what makes an advanced civilization? So this is a society that has a government, has an oral or written language, religion, and technology. We've seen this with a lot of societies or civilizations that we've talked about before. We talked about this. The Romans would be considered an advanced civilization. The empires of Africa would be considered an advanced civilization, and the Arabian empires would be considered an advanced civilization. Polytheism, this should be a review word, the belief in many gods. Poly means many, so polytheism, belief in many gods. And hieroglyphics, this should be a review word from 6th grade when you did Egypt. This is just a writing system that uses pictures to represent words or ideas rather than actual words. So kind of if you thought about having to write your sentence using only pictures rather than the actual words, that would be considered a hieroglyphic. And then monarchy, this is also a review word. This is supreme power of the land is held by one individual. We've seen that before. All right, so location. This kind of gives you the outline of all the three civilizations we'll be talking about. But the Maya are going to be right here where it says Tikal. That is called the Yucatan Peninsula. That includes part of Central America and part of Mexico. When this civilization occurred was around 300 to 900. I know the PowerPoint says AD, but remember AD and CE are the same thing. So if on your homework you see 300 to 900 CE, that would be the correct answer. Mayan religion, this is the really kind of cool thing. So Mayan religion, I wish we were in school so I could show you the clips from this movie. Mayan religion was super important in everyday life. They worship these like stone pyramids like the one you can see in the picture, and then they had like temples on the top. Mayan religion did involve human sacrifice, which is not, what we obviously do today in religion, but what they did was for the human sacrifice, that would be considered giving a gift to the gods so that everything went well for them. These typically were like prisoners of war that were captured, um, and those were the ones that were usually sacrificed. Again, polytheism, many gods. This is just kind of has it for you in your words. This is mythology and an ancestral worship. So this can be blood giving through the tongues and ears, but again, human sacrifice can also be death. One movie that I love that I always show clips of when and just clips because it's rated R, but I always show clips of when we talk about the Mayans. It's a movie called Apocalypto, and it basically is a really great representation of the Mayan culture and how they worked. But it is rated R, so probably like no, but but it really does kind of go through this guy's journey of he's captured by the Mayans and they take him, and basically he figures out that everyone that they captured is going to be used for human sacrifice, that type of thing. But anyways, it's a really good movie. And then what also would be considered is the nobles, so that upper class they would eventually become gods. The Mayan government. So again, we have that monarchy system we have the nobles and the priests. And so you have the monarchy, nobles and priests were those wealthy, important people. Then they would lead the warriors, farmers, and merchants. And then at the bottom were the slaves. It was very well organized. Like I said, there were social classes, and they united these like smaller settlements in villages into these larger states. So bringing people together, and rather than having like this group and this group and this group and this group, we took it and we made it together. So really united, like we've seen in other civilizations. Mayan agriculture, corn was the main crop. And we call it corn, but they called it maize. Maize. So if you ever seen the movie Grown Ups, the guy's always like, maize. Maize is corn. What they did was they did this slash and burn agriculture, which it's good for the land to a point, but it also wears out the land. So what they would do is they would have a section of land that they farmed on. They grew, that crop. When that season was done, what they would do is cut whatever was left and burn it. So that way, once it was burnt, they could reuse that plot of land again. The only problem with that is they were overusing the soil. And we know that when you overuse, like in Europe, when we talked about the 3-field system, right? They rotated, and there was always that one fallow field that wasn't being used, so that you didn't like ruin the soil. There were still nutrients that were coming in, so that the people in the manor could continue to use that soil. Slash and burn overworks the land. They did have surplus, which was nice. So they would store the surplus corn in these storage bins. And then they used wells and reservoirs as water sources. Remember, a well, circle, go on the ground, bucket, pull it up, there's your water. And then reservoirs are those kind of pathways of water that you got from a larger water source. Some things that they grew. So they grew and a lot of this is because what the land could hold for the culture is they grew beans, they grew squash, pumpkins, chili, sweet potatoes, turnips, avocados, chayote, and groves of fruit trees. All right, Mayan technology. So over here you can kind of see that Mayan calendar. This is their number system here. There's been lots of speculation about, the Mayan calendar said that in 2011 we were supposed to or 2012, that was like when the Mayan calendar ended, so we were all gonna die. But obviously it's 2020, so that's not the case. But that's because their years had different numbers. So you can kind of see in this first bullet point where people lived, and then how the temples were also rulers' tombs. But the one reason that that calendar was inaccurate is because we have 12 months in a year. The Mayans had 18. We have 30 to 31 days minus February in our calendar, but their months were only 20 days each, and a 5-day month. So it was 365 days, but it was just laid out differently. They created the system, or they created the idea of zero. They had a system using 20s as its base instead of 10. Some language for hieroglyphics and stories. You can click on that and get that link. They traveled by using roads and canoes. And you can see here with their clothing. Turquoise jewelry was popular. Priests and higher up people would wear gold jewelry, and then they would have that colorful cotton garment. So who conquered the Mayans? A lot of people say themselves. They were competing with each other, and you can kind of see this if you watch Apocalypto. It's like a village against a village. But they were competing dynasties, and so because war and slash and burn kind of ruined the land, and obviously war is not ideal, a lot of Mayans just left those cities and relocated. It's also possible that famine, foreign invasion, and disease ended them as well. So looking back at these essential questions, which you'll answer on your homework in Edulastic, how did geographic factors affect political, social, and economic aspects of life in Mayan culture? And why is the Mayan culture considered to be an advanced civilization? So again, making sure you get your homework on Edulastic done for this. And then if you have not completed the Khan Academy assignment, you need to get on and do that and make sure you actually do the actual lesson on Khan Academy. If you have questions about Khan Academy, review that intro PowerPoint video that I show you from 2 days ago. And then if you have any more questions on what to do, just text me and I can navigate you, or we can Google Meet and I can help navigate you through it. All right, so thanks and have a safe and happy day, guys.